Yeah, we might have to start charging for it. Anyway, Colin.
Okay, bless up. Thank you, Marlon. Thank you, Lady Smurf. We're going to move it forward. I know our other presenters aren't here, but we don't want to delay. Time is running and passing. So the way we're going to start this, we're going to start off with the other panelists will join us as they arrive.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about Kush Records, because I've heard of you, but like Kush Films, because I'm not really seeing anything today for myself.
Okay, so in the UK, again, I'm a pioneer in terms of opening the doors to UK cinemas and putting black films on the big screen. So this year, my company celebrates 25 years of putting black films on the big screen.
Give them a round of applause, come on ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and supporting black filmmakers. So I have a very vast knowledge of film and TV, and in terms of how the film world sort of looks at things and how they sort of look at how they look at us as also as a people, and the opportunities that are afforded to us.
So how did you actually get into it?
So that is kind of a story in itself, you know.
We love gossip in it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, for many years, people asked me how did I get into film, because it's something, especially in those days, in the 90s, it was very unusual. But and I used to keep, before that, I had to keep raves and parties and dances, and I actually kept my first dance when I was about 18 years old. So I'm a man originally from Tottenham, in Tottenham, North London. Original Tottenham man.
Oh, that's painful.
Original Tottenham youth.
You're talking, man.
I grew up with sounds, you know, like Scrap Payan and some of them other man them over there. Fat Man. Fat Man is like an uncle to me still, and very close to my family. So I grew up with those kind of people. So I had to keep raves and parties, and I used to love entertaining people and bringing people together. So I had a sort of knack for that. But I kind of had kind of come to the end of the road of the street scene and the party scene and that kind of thing, and sort of just had this spiritual notion of changing my life, and went church for a year and got baptized, and basically amen. And then from that, Kush was bought, my company Kush Films, and also even the name Kush, I actually discovered that in the Bible actually. It was a black Bible that my sister gave to me, African Heritage Bible, which is the King James version of the Bible, but it was from an Afrocentric perspective, and it gave you all the history of black people in the Bible. So it was very deep, and I learned about the Nubians, the Kushites, and great African civilization, and that's where my company, the name of my company, Kush Films, that's where it came from. And that was basically to remind, because I kind of found myself, so it was to, in a sense, what I was trying to do was trying to remind my people that we were once kings and queens.
That's right.
So that's the name of my company, and when I walk tall as a proud black man. So
what's this?
That don't sound like Kush Films. Is that a Smurf song or something? Is that one of the Smurf songs? Is it me or getting deep?
I feel like with the interlude, the cinema interlude.
It's like, I think as soon as you said Nubian and black, it went off key.
Well, yeah. So I started it. I just basically how I started. It's a long answer to the question. I don't know. I would say that the man upstairs, the father God gave me different to do for my community. So I just basically walked into a cinema one day and said that I want to start showing films in here, and I didn't even have a plan or have a notion of how I was going to do it, but I just ended up doing it. So I'm a person that strongly believes, even to this day, that sometimes when you want to do things, you're just gonna just do it. You may not have a plan or whatever, but you're just gonna just get up and just do it, and just put your all into it and bring it into being, and then you deal with all the other stuff afterwards, basically. So yeah.
Well, I know how difficult it is to do films, the editing, getting the right people on board. Have you now surrounded yourself with a team?
But there's been many people that's worked with me, you know, over the years, and young people as well, and things like that. I mean, it's always difficult, especially in film. The thing is, what people don't understand, because again, what you just kind of referred to, a lot of people don't even understand what I do or how important I am. Because we understand filmmakers, someone who makes the films, we understand directors, writers, blah, blah, blah. But when I say to people that I'm a film exhibitor, people say, what's that? They don't know what a film exhibitor is. If I simplify it and say I'm a film promoter, then every black person, they understand I'm a promoter. But I'm a person who puts films on the big screen. So when I kind of started, I was basically like the missing link. Because it's always good, you know, you can always have filmmakers making films, but if there's no one there to take our films and put them on the big screen, put them in cinemas, put them in TVs, and this is where film distributors come in. You know, you have the Warner Brothers, the 20th Century Fox, the Universal Pictures. They basically are the gatekeepers. They control the industry. They determine what people see. And this is, you know, these big Hollywood companies have always determined what the world sees in regards to black people and how we present it on the big screen or on TV. Right. So when I came around, I was very unusual in terms of that I wanted to be someone who had control, not me begging people to do things for me, but wanting to be someone who could go into cinemas, any cinema across the UK and put films on the big screen. And then I've graduated to become the only black film distributor in the UK today, where I can put a film in 100 screens and things like that. There is no other black person who is into film distribution. We have many filmmakers, writers, directors that know film distributors. And obviously that kind of relates back to reggae music and to lovers rock, and it was our own people, because the wider mainstream wasn't interested in reggae music in those days. We had to set up our own record labels and our own company to distribute the music ourselves, and that's very similar to what I do with black films, in terms of I'm a distributor. There is no one else that does what I do.
Listen, our other panelists have arrived, so I'd like to welcome Paul Dawkins and Winsome to the front, please. Hopefully Winsome hasn't got jet lag, but fresh from Heathrow. Is it Heathrow or Gatwick? We'll just introduce you and then just introduce yourself. Stand up, Winsome. Yeah, if you don't mind. Marlon's been here. Marlon, Marlon, tell them how you've been holding it down.
Yeah.
Have you introduced yourself?
No, we've been doing a double act while we've been waiting for. Winsome, big up yourself.
Apologies for being so late. I was on my holidays. But yes, I'm originally from South London, originally from Junction, but now I live in Fulton Heath. If any of you see me with my...
Someone's saying, yeah, rep.
My hair doesn't look like this. Yeah, I've been in the business for... Actually, I'm not giving you my age, because I'm 21. But yeah, Lovers Rock wasn't necessarily where I was aiming to be, but it enveloped me. It gave me a home. It allowed me to talk about the man them when they vex me. And see, you know.
I haven't even started yet.
It bought my first house, and with that, it gave me more than I gave it, and so now I give it everything I can, because Lovers Rock basically is the soundtrack to my life.
Oh, thank you. So just open up the sentence. What Lovers Rock mean to you? So you've just shared it.
Lovers Rock means to me a cheap way of redecorating your home. Because you can invite strangers in, they will take off your wallpaper and allow you to redecorate. Yes.
I'm lost for words for a change. Paul.
Hi everybody. Sorry for being so late. My jet, I couldn't land in Croydon. My jet couldn't find a way to land. But when we landed, I come all the way from Northampton. It was a lot. Normally it would take about an hour and a half to get here. It took us nearly 3 hours to get here. The traffic. I was pulling up my hair, and you can see I got none left. Right? Yeah. Lovers Rock to me is everything. All my colleagues on the wall up here, we all came from that era. But when I started, it wasn't Lovers Rock. We got branded with that name because Winsome would tell you when we went to the studios, we just went in there to make music, lovely music, but obviously it got branded, and I'm grateful it's got that name, Lovers Rock, because it means so much. I've still got some of the wallpaper on the back of my head, and on the back of my head. But you know, thank you all for coming, and yeah, let's have some fun.
Yeah. Are we going to try and keep it PG, yeah? Yeah, don't get me in trouble because you're my mate, yeah, don't get me in trouble. So Kush, what does Lovers Rock mean to you? Because we didn't get to ask you that earlier.
Especially as I was saying, pretty well as a slightly younger guy here. At school, I always remember school, you know, we'd have the school dances, and it used to be a big competition between my friends who would get the most robs, you know, who would get the most dance. So we used to go around, and that used to be the big thing, and I always remember that actually, because that was like, you always felt like the champion if you got the most dances, you know what I mean? And obviously if you get the refusals, you kind of feel bad about yourself. Yeah. But yeah, it was, Lovers Rock obviously is, you know, I'm Black British, you know, it's part of my culture. It's something that I kind of grew with. I grew up with, and to this day you hear certain tracks, it just kind of stops you, and you just have that kind of emotion. It just takes you back to a time and place where you know, when life was good. When life was good. So yeah, it means you know, it means a lot.
Well, Lovers Rock meant to me phone numbers. Yeah, with me and the girls, it was like who got the most that night, because you know, a few of the men would chase you out of the dance floor and them things there. And all we wanted was numbers.
Did you used to give them telephone numbers for phone boxes?
Yeah. How did you know? There was always dodgy numbers. There was always a number missing that shouldn't be in there. We take their number, but we wouldn't give them our real number. We don't like being harassed and stalked. And you know the man that were bad them days, they're hungry. Listen, I'm telling you the truth, they were hungry. So we always gave a lot of different number in between. How did you know we did it? Did you do that?
No, I heard about it.
You lied. But listen, we're not going to get to debate because we do want the audience to participate. And if any of you lot can think about what does to mean to any of you, don't worry, we get the microphone. Where's Chris? Where's Kaboom?
Kaboom is there!
Jesus, Lord. And we do want to say hello to a few artists. There's a few artists in here today, Colin. We've got OG Scott, we love her. Give her a round of applause, ladies. We've got Winsome, Michael, Richard in there. Hey. We've got Linda Queens in there. We've got Angela Nash, Linda Block. Who else? Lady Banton, my eyes are stretching, you know.
Paul,
Paul Dawkins! Big up yourself. David Reed, I see you. Don't feel we ain't seen you, mate. You know, I love when you slided in quiet, bit better. So for all you're out, I'll come back to you. I'll come back. But listen, let's get straight to the questions about the positive aspects of the Smurfs. We want to go straight to Smurfs?
Yeah, we're there now.
Yeah.
The film.
So,
what were the positive aspects of the film?
What would you think were the positive aspects? And we do want you guys, where's Kaboom? To make sure he gets the mic. Is he behind me? In time, innit? Yeah, so while he's running around with the mic, we're going to have a quick discussion about what are the positive aspects of the film. I mean, there's a lot of people in here with a bottom lip right now. Did you just pick the bottom lip? Trust me, some people are doing this as soon as they go. It was just rolling. And I know Carol at the back there. Innit, Carol? Dennis in House's daughter, she's got to have something to say, because she's vexed too. So there's a few murmurs on the way in the door. Lad, may I have nothing saying, I'm not happy, you know. Then people never put something. All that's coming out. So be ready for the attack. Alright. So, Let's get your perspective.
Well, I could say, obviously, from someone working in the film business, as I've explained to most people, one of the positive aspects is, and a lot of people probably don't even realize is us seeing our culture, you know, our you know, a version of our story on the TV, primetime TV, especially the BBC. A lot of people probably don't even realize this. The BBC would not normally have a story that reflects our culture on at 9 p.m. on a Sunday on TV. So first and foremost, that was a very positive aspect to see our stories being told on TV, and it wasn't on Channel 4 or something like that, or it wasn't on at 11 o'clock at night time, it was prime time TV. So that was very important, that was a very positive aspect of it, basically. Okay, go on, I finished.
Is this one for the audience? Right. Winsome, don't get distracted, man. Come on.
I agree, actually. Seeing what to me feels like almost a hidden genre of music. Because if you consider it, we all know the songs, we all grew up with the songs, we all put our own words to those songs. But when you go out and you search online or you know what I mean, unless you go to the live shows, you're not necessarily hearing Lovers Rock, the British Lovers Rock. You're not going to hear it. So although we created this culture and we've created this backdrop for ourselves, what we didn't do was we didn't look after it. We didn't leave a lasting legacy for it. There's no real indelible imprint for it. So the fact that I may not necessarily agree with the full depiction, but like you say, it was put prime time, front and centre. It's allowed people who knew even less than we did to know a little something. But I think it's our responsibility to make sure we make it a more permanently lasting legacy.
Yeah, well, as Winsome said, it was lovely to see that prime time. Because I was at work and I actually rushed home just to sit down to watch that in prime time. Yes, it was good because there's a legacy, what we put out there, and it's out there, it all belongs to all of us. And to see that then the whole world, I have to say the whole world seeing about our legacy, because look how long it's taken us, I could say 50 years, for us to reach that far and actually could talk about our music and our culture so everybody can see what we do. But as I said to Vincent, there were certain things that we could have done on a different level to make it even that much more better. And that's what I would say about that, what I saw.
Right, for me, the positive aspect is that...
Yeah, it's positive.
Is that we was on TV.
Yeah, we was on TV. Yeah. You know, back in the days when Top of the Pops in here, there's a black group, everybody would run home. There's a black guy on Top of the Pops. And everybody would run home. That was like boy, one in a million for that to happen. But to see it now in our time, and seeing that come on television, it was great.
Listen, I was excited to just see the Michael Jacksons because I lived in a white community, so I never saw a lot of black people. So when I saw Michael Jackson, just me, yeah man, see the Afro there? Because we related to them. And then when I got into the 80s and we saw the UK Lovers Up, I didn't even know what man looked like till I went to the Lovers Rock dance and I was in trouble. Winsome, I was trying to keep my eyelids down. You get me? So all I'm going to say is ask any of you audience, what's your positive aspects of the show? Because I know a lot of you's got the negative. Let me get the first microphone.
One of the positive aspects was that the children, our children and grandchildren, got to see how we dressed, because this is what they told me, and what we looked like, because it was something that they hadn't seen our generation, street level, Lovers Rock, you know, because they never thought I was famous until, do you know what I mean? So it was nice. They loved it, so big ups to that.
That was Audrey Scott, in case you got big one. Come on, we need your legs, because I'm only 5'4.5". So is there anyone else who got anything to say about the first topic, the positive aspects? Because I know you're not all thinking about the negative, but we do have some positives. Anyone?
Don't be shy.
Ian Reid?
Oh, here's one.
I've got to admit, the positive side is I've got grandchildren now, and when I play the music, I have a 2-year-old granddaughter. She sits in there, she knows the words, and she's singing along to Winsome's, Audrey's, and a few other artists. And it's like, she's enjoying it. Now she picks up the microphone, she's walking around. So anything that goes on now, which is old school, she's enjoying it, and it is so positive to them to listen to genuine old school lovers rock than some of the stuff that we're listening to now. And it is so pure, the old school lovers rock. And I prefer my youngest to listen to the old school lovers rock because the genuineness and the love that went into the songs, it just carries on, and it's carried on throughout my whole house, and it still does.
Performance coming.
Yeah, man.
My positive about Lovers Rock,
Get them to say who they are.
it helped me to have a reflective practice about my youth, my growing up. But also, I don't think the reaction to the film or the series, Small Acts, I think some people in our community are not ready to have their own reflective practice about some of the truths and some of the positives, but mostly some of the negatives that does happen in our community and some of the behaviours that happened at the time. And I think that was captured in the film, but I think a lot of people felt exposed. We're not really ready to have that critical eye yet. But my positive is really helping us to go on that journey of being a bit more reflective about our own nostalgia without hyperventilating when too much truth comes on.
It's Jennifer.
Say your name, please.
Good afternoon. My name's Ian. As you can see, I'm an old-time soundman. So for the film, for me, it's got a lot of history. It's got a lot of memories, but also as a soundman, the way it portrayed back in the days when I used to play it, especially when it was lovers rock dances, people used to come out and want to rave. Yeah, the musical side of it was 99% of love. So what I noticed is there's not war in these dances. There's always peace. And like I say, watching it right through the generation, from my generation going down to my children, the history of the music is within them. It has to be taught. So I see the positive side of it is where we got the chance to, thanks, yes. We got the chance to learn about the history of the lovers. We got to learn, because everybody in here, I know one thing everybody will say about lovers rock, made babies. But it was all in a love thing, it was never no war. The negative side, like I said, the only thing I portray of it, that for me personally, I didn't see the wars and the fights.
Positive.
It was always positive, my friend, always positive. And up to this now generation, I'm still playing out. I still play the lovers rock, and I will continue and spread that generation down from elders to the youth, because there's a message in the music. So one more thing I want to say. I know Winsome very well, because I grew up with her on the same road. And Paulette Taja alongside me. I played at her wedding, so it was a pleasure. And Mr. Dawkins, I never forget the day me and you and Michael Gordon was down at the dance, and we were poor. I've got that picture still. So the history is real when it comes to lovers.
So greetings first of all to the panel, Boy, you guys turned up today, so that's fantastic. But what I want to say positive about the movie, because I watched it again with my sister, and we tried to be really open-minded about it. And one of the things, my niece was watching it as well, and she said, "Auntie, did you really used to dance like that?" So I said, "No, it was my friends, really." So, you know, when we talk about, you know, that era, and you know that the house parties. One thing my niece commented on, she said, "We don't have house parties like that anymore. You don't get that feel and that sort of, you know, just you know, that loving feeling that you get that we had back in the day, and that everybody dressed up to the nines to come out to whether they were going to a club or a house party, they dressed up to the nines, yeah, because it was their opportunity to turn up, yeah." So I think that's really positive, and the fact that I echo what Winsome was saying, that, you know what, this film won awards. So it's got global recognition, whether we agree with it, all the elements of it or not, it got global recognition. It reached parts of the planet that never even heard about Lovers Rock. So for that, it's what can we now do to build upon it? Okay? That is what we need to work on. Because you know what? Gonna come a time when Allah we are gonna pass away. And that music and everything passes away with us unless we do something about it. Okay? Great.
Oh, I know, it's Gary Dixon. Hello, mate. I do like him, you know, because he's talking to me, that's why. Anyway, so anyone want to talk about the positive aspects of this film being shown? Or forever hold your peace?
Wait, ask the question.
Which one?
I was going to say, ask the question a different way, because obviously not everyone's going to be brave enough to answer the question.
Well, I don't know, we've got a few brave people here, Winsome. They've been coming for weeks.
If you ask the question, just raise your hand.
Yeah.
Any of you that's been...
Well, the next part,
yeah.
the next
So,
part,
like
the next
Winsome
part
says,
would deal with. The next part would.
Listen, we're going to go straight to it. Thank you, Winsome, because I'm taking your advice. Yeah, we're going to ask the next one about, did the film actually make you look back at your own experience as a young person? Just raise your hands, we're good. Innit, Winsome? Yeah. Oh, TG, come on. TG, he's got his hands up.
Where is he? Where?
You know the one with that?
Oh, yes, TG.
The dodgy one.
Thank you very much. Well, the memory it brought back and the experience it brought back was when I used to go to kind of dances and meet lovely people and get lots of phone numbers.
Good memories, TG.
Some good music. That's about it, really.
You see the way they looked at me? Not my number.
TG, what you didn't say was they correct phone numbers.
Lady Banton. I think for me, because I wasn't, it reminds me of the time when I wasn't allowed out. So when I do give talks to younger people, I let them know that a lot of black girls weren't allowed out. And I was one of them. I didn't have I just couldn't climb out of the window. I just couldn't. I didn't dare because my mum was a gangster, so I couldn't do it. But for me, all the things that came out of the Lovers Rock songs, it was kind of like an education as well. So I remember buying some of the tunes, but you know, you sing along, so they kept you company going to college. You'd hear songs, Don't Say Goodbye Too Loud. Had a girl called Deidre and I loved her. They were like musical love songs. We weren't even going out with anybody. I wasn't even going out with anyone as such, but it was like, these are the scripts and you can relate to it. It's all in the game, one blood. So for me, when I come to these, it's like, oh God, I was doing this at that time, or I was sitting exams. So a lot of Lovers Rock, I'd be revising to a lot of Lovers Rock songs. You'd go to your friend's house and you'd sit there playing your latest tunes. So it's literally like a landscape and a prelude to the relationships that you would have. I remember, I didn't buy Winsome's Homebreaker. I wanted to buy that, but you know when you ain't got no money? I had the intention to buy that one. I didn't have any money. Because you know what I mean? It's either dinner money or tunes. So that, you know, and I'm not happy to buy that digitally. I wanted the vinyl to Homebreaker. Okay, so that's me. That's all I've got to.
Thank you.
My name is Winsome. It reminded me of when I was growing up and I wanted so desperately to be a singer. Like, you know, just brought me back to the time of like Louisa Marks, you know, I mean, the Lovers Rock, because then I wasn't singing there. And I just said, yeah, that was the good times. All right, that's all. That's my positive. Okay?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Mitzi June. Been fond of coming for the past 4 weeks, but I'm here now. Lovers Rock to me, these are good memories of the 70s. I actually looked at professional harmonies by singing Lovers Rock music with my two sisters. I worked with a lot of artists on the reggae circuit, and it's an era we can't get back. But I did get my baby father through Lovers Rock, so I used to sneak out of the dance, and Daddy said, "Where do I come from? If we can't stand up all night, stand up all day." And so that was it, Bosswords, 5 pence. It's just an era, I don't think we'll ever get it back, but it was a nice time. No council tax, nothing like that, you know. Big up yourself, love your Paulette Tarja. Ian, big up yourself. CV, love you, yeah.
Yeah, my name is Mr. B. I'm one of the members of staff. Lovers Rock. What can I say? What can I say? It was amazing. And to be in the midst of living legends of songs that one used to make nice dance moves, press up on the wall and ting. It was just amazing. It was amazing. And the music, the lyrics, Natural Woman, all them titles there, it's just speechless. So really, to me personally, I'm not negative. Simple as. And like Taja says, it's international now. So what are we gonna do? Now it is international. It's all about moving forward, simple things. Thank you, Chris. Come on!
Yeah, Ginger.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we really took it for granted, you know, Lovers Rock. The music, the sound man bringing up all those speakers, so many floors, you know, I mean, we just took all that for granted. You know, even like artists going to studio, young people, you know, cutting records. We just took so much for granted. Now we're older, we appreciate what we had. That's why we have to keep it going, you know.
And men don't pull women to dance no more. Which man pull women to dance now?
We'll give you the mic. All right, we'll give you the mic. Which turn?
You know, and I just want to say that we're all getting older. None of us know how long we've got left. So let's rebirth this, because our children might not be interested in it, but it's not about our children, really, it's about leaving a legacy. That's all I've got to say.
So, we were shouting at hecklers because we're trying to avoid the heckling today.
You want the positives, yeah?
I'm looking at you.
Name?
Evening.
Afternoon.
Yes, afternoon. Right. Positives. You know what? It just brought back great memories of when I was growing up in the 70s, 80s, going out to parties and enjoying the Lovers Rock music. And on behalf of myself and my fellow men that used to go to them parties, young ladies who used to wear them pleated skirts, and at the end of the night, the pleat was rubbed out. I would just like to apologise on behalf of my fellow men and myself for rubbing out the pleats in the skirt. Yeah, so if you want to see me after, if you was one of them ladies and you recognise me from back in the day, I I will pay for your dry cleaning. But yeah, so yeah, that's a positive for me. So yeah, and those who still sing Lovers Rock music, just keep up the good work, yeah, because we're here for it.
Do I understand? Okay, my name's Fitzroy. I run a magazine called Soul Survivors. Now, I come from West London and I'm a soul boy. My parents are Jamaican, I grew up in a Jamaican household, but I was a soul boy. Now, when we was going to clubs, or we go to parties, and the Lovers Rock came on, that's when we turned into reggae, man. Now, my cousins were all into reggae and Lovers Rock, so I got educated more so on that music from them. So I remember Paradise and, you know, all them kind of tunes. I used to go around to my cousin's house in Wembley, and I used to borrow the music and I used to give it back, I used to record it. But one of the things that I remember is I did an interview with Carol Thompson. No, not Carol Thompson, Karen Wheeler for my magazine. And Karen Wheeler, as most of you know, was in Brown Sugar. And she was secretly a soul girl. I don't know if a lot of you know that. Secretly, she was a soul girl. And she said when they were singing, Dennis Bovell used to say to all the other girls, listen to how Karen's singing. Because Karen was listening to Minnie Riperton, she was listening to Aretha Franklin, so that's why her voice was so soulful. And as you know, she don't make reggae music no more. She became part of Soul to Soul, Aphrodisiac, so on and so forth. So there was a correlation between the soul and the reggae. And Lovers Rock was like the sort of like the sort of soul version of reggae, the softer side. And for me, I also remember buying some of that music. And I remember there was a girl that lived around the corner from me, her name was Jennifer Lodge, she lived on the next road. And she had Carol Thompson's I Love to See You Smiling, and I loved that tune. So my memories as a soul boy is that Lovers Rock was something that brought the community together. Even as a soul boy, at one time you wanted to become a reggae man, even if it was just a dance and scrub two skirts or whatever it is, the phrases or whatever. But it was a great time, and culturally it is something that comes organically from our community, from our history, first and second generation Windrush. At the time, we were disaffected youths at the time. We didn't have no identity until that first generation was able to go into clubs and go into the parties and the whole sound system mentality and everything like that. And it was a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to share that memory. That's it.
Before the next question comes, I just have to say...
You've got to do the housekeeping, innit? I can feel it.
Yeah, for all those who require to use the toilet, when you come out here, you take a right, straight down to the end, and then you take a next right. That is for all those people that are bursting to use the toilet right now. You come out, you take a right, you walk straight down, and then you take the next right. Thank you.
Don't forget the t-shirts and you know.
No merchandise.
No merchandise today.
No. That's the party them and the drinks them. You know? Support the cause, and most importantly, spread the word, man. Spread the word. Simple things, man.
Okay. Well, guys, we're going to get to the next subject, but I suppose for me, did it relieve experience when I watched the Small Acts? I'm one of the girls that did climb out the window. Sorry. I scaled down the pipes because I was moving with boys then, so it was easy for me to get tough up and climb down the window if I dropped my drop. But when I came back in after the rain, guess who was in my bed waiting for me? My mother. My mother, I said, boss my ass. So for Lovers Rock, Winsome, it wasn't. No, like she said, our parents were gangsters when they landed from Jamaica. They were like Game of Thrones, brother. So when I came back in thinking I'm getting in the window, she don't know I'm gonna go and just, Lord, she's looking at me in my belly. Lord, all I do is beatings, take it. Because I enjoyed the night, so I didn't mind the consequences. So I don't, it's true. Anyway, let's get straight to the next bit. Guys, we know a lot of people didn't like the verse. Hello, sis. This is Deborah's sister, Deborah Class, yeah, Windrush, and the mother. They're just flying past me like Windrush. But yeah, so what did you guys really find sad and that upset you or disappointing watching Small Acts? Because some people never really liked. Because I mean, the truth for me from that film should have been about the deep racism, and they didn't pull it out. Because remember, them times we had music, church, and education to hold us from turning mad with the discrimination and the abuse and the violence towards black people. And that's the bit for me. I would have loved Steve McQueen to really pull it in. And he didn't. There was only little snippets with the boys and maybe the police, but it wasn't to the point that what I felt in Croydon, that I had to fight nearly every white boy on the street, literally. Winsome, I was bulky, I had to thump up, man. But because I didn't know what they was going to do with us when they start to shout the word, and I don't like it, but when they start to shout the word nigger, and this and that, really? And our parents always told us to take off our shoes. Did your parents take off your shoes and clout them? So that was for me the perspective around that film, is that I wish that he kind of developed a bit more about the racism, even though there was a sexual connotation to it, but the sexual connotation happens in every community as far as I'm concerned. So I didn't look at that as a negative, because you've got the blacks, the whites, the Asian, but the main part they didn't raise for me was the discrimination that black people went through horrendously between the 60s, or even when they landed the boat, right through to even today, hence George Floyd, when Marlon was talking about. So that's the bit I would have liked them to elaborate a little bit more, just to show real perspective to our new generation who don't really look like they even know what racism is. You get me? But anyway, so guys, tell us what you found disappointing. Just put your hand up what you felt sad about it. Carol?
Panel.
Oh, sorry, let's go back to the panel. I'm losing it. Yeah, sorry.
The bit I was disappointed in initially was when they were depicting the sound, because I grew up in a house where I've got 5 brothers, so I'm like you, I weren't allowed out. Even my first tune, I was only allowed to go Providence, hear the tune, and I had to go home. So, do you know what I mean? That's not my experience. But my experience of a sound was not the experience I saw in that film. Because the way the sound were, the music that they played, the way they were together, all of that, and especially when they're in the house, like my mum, listen, right, as you got up in the morning, there was a prayer meeting. But when my brothers built their sound, and they built their boxes, and their boxes were in the dining room, my mum would let them play their tunes downstairs in the dining room with their friend them. That's not the kind of sound I saw in that film. And for me, the thing that I found sad with that is that for those people who don't know, that's the only representation you've got. Because where else are you going to go and see a sound? So, unfortunately, like Paulette said, this film has got global recognition. Unfortunately, some of the depictions, they're not even representative. They were just not real. And I get it, it might have been to get the film made and to get the film out there, but I would have liked to have seen, like you say, more of the realism of the experiences of the people of that time. That's right. Like you say, my brothers were always in the police station, always. 5 black men. Sometimes they would knock our door and tell my mum they've got one of my sons. My brothers are being bent. It's because he's black why they think he's one of ours. So they've arrested my mum one time because she had a knife in her hand when they rushed the yard. I mean, come on now, you know. But anyway, so for me, like I say, if he had chosen to put more realism, a little bit of the, you know, salaciousness that you need to get the film made, I get that. But if there had been more realism, like you say, more depiction of the love that goes on in the sound system, that community, I would have loved that.
You know, to back it up, Winsome, I think because it was a black film, I think they diluted it because we got the white backing. So they didn't really want to really put the realness in it.
I can see him chomping at the bit. Come
on. Marlon, take time that little young man's spine now, yeah? Say it. Don't bite your bottom lip, you know, just say it.
Well, if you understand how the industry works. But again, from my perspective, from what I saw and what I read afterwards and listened to Steve McQueen himself, I think there were a number of elements that caused the story to come out that way. Obviously, yes, there is a format that you need to follow when you're making a film or you're making something that is a piece of entertainment for TV or for cinema or whatever. But again, I think one of the elements clearly, and he said it in the interview we saw earlier, and I've seen that interview before, that he wasn't there. He basically, it was his auntie, he said. So he's basically creating a story from what he's heard. Obviously, as a director, he's got creative license as well. But to tell the truth, where a lot of people are having a go at Steve McQueen, yes, in a sense, he was the boss. But there are other people on the writing team, like my good colleague and associate Courtney Newland, who was, I think, maybe a bit older than Steve McQueen, and who knew the scene a bit more than Steve McQueen, who could have advised him better and you know, let the whole thing be more authentic. But again, you know, Steve McQueen is a very creative director. If you've seen his films before, you've seen 12 Years a Slave, even the way he told the story within that in regards to slavery. He's not the usual film director. He's very, very creative. Because he comes from that kind of a background. He doesn't come from a film background. He comes from an art world background, if you know him truly. So there were different things that I think that contributed to the film coming out that way. And you know, in reality, we're going to look at it as a piece of fiction, and that's what it is. You know, it just should have been made more clearer, I suppose, that it was fiction. And we have to accept it as fiction and not see it as authentic, because it was never meant to be really authentic. It was fiction, something that came out of the mind of Steve McQueen and his writers. You know, just going to the thing that, one of the things that I was really disappointed with was obviously the rape scene. Right? And it just so happened that it was a mattress alternative in the back garden that you couldn't do that. That was kind of a bit. But from where I come from, and before you guys got here, we were talking before, and I have mentioned a few times that I'm from Tottenham, and I'm going to say it again. Right? Original Broadwater farm man. All right, originally. But I know that when we were growing up, especially myself, as I mentioned to you before, I was a bit of a sort of troublemaker in the community, or one of the guys that won't put up with no crap. No man in those days could do anything like that, rape a woman, and then just go back in on the dance and start rape like nothing, like normal. If that happened, he knows he would have to leave fast and disappear, not go back in the dance and rape. So all of that, you know, I mean, you know, guys who were classed as rapists or things like that were outcasts in the community. And some of them, sadly, they would even be marked. Maybe a man would cut them or something. They'd be marked as rapists. So they couldn't just be normal like that and just come back in the community from where it was. And then even the other thing with the crazy Rastaman, the crazy Rastaman dancing in the party. I know that when I was in Lovers Rock dancing and I got on my leopard skin shoes and my snake skin shoes, nobody knows step on that. So, you know what I mean? So, there will be no Rastaman jumping up and down like that in the dance, going on crazy. With t-shirts. And he took a shaka dance, he took a different dance, and mixed it up with the house dance and combined it into one. That's what he did. Creative licensing. You know? So, yeah, those are my dislikes.
Thank you. Yeah? Okay. For me, I was very disappointed. I'm not going to hold it back. Coming from where we're coming from, I'm not going to hold back. I'm not disrespecting none of the filmmakers, but this is what I say. When it came on, no, the week before I heard there's a Lovers Rock film coming on. I was excited. And I knew everybody run home to watch this movie. And my wife will tell you, it was on for 2 seconds. I said, I ain't watching that. I'm not watching, and I came out of the room. And when it finished, I came back down and I said, hope you didn't record that, because I'm not going to watch it. She'll tell you, don't even record it, because I'm going, hold on a minute here. This is the second time this has happened now. They made another Lovers Rock story before, and it went out there, and me and Dennis Bob, I was going like crazy. Dennis Bob said, Paul, I said, no, Dennis. I said, listen, we created something many years ago, and half of us didn't even know what we were doing. It got branded with the name Lovers Rock. Now, for someone to take up that name and use that name for their own cause, and not going and doing their research, that to me, that knocked us right off of the shelf. When we was in the studios making our music, we didn't know what we was doing, but we was creating music, and you guys latched onto us because we didn't know what we was doing. All these years after, realized, is that tune? They're singing our song. You guys made us who we are. We didn't do that. Because without you guys, we wouldn't be here today sitting here. You know Winsome, you know Paul, you know all the artists who were in here, Paul, whoever's in here tonight. But yet, for someone to take up and use that name, Lovers Rock, to me, I can't accept that side of it. And the first one what they made, my colleagues, a lot of my colleagues who was on that movie, the first one, we're colleagues, we're bona fide, we're close friends. And I'm talking about a lot of comedians who was on that film. And I'm going, hold on a minute here. So, if they was to make a film about comedians, would they call me, Paul Dawkins, Winsome, Peter Huntingale, Michael Gordon, Mike Anthony, to come and talk about? No, they wouldn't do that, because we can't talk about how they came up in the business. We can't do that. So to hear people making jokes and laughs, yes, it was funny when I went to the club and when the guy went outside, he was ugly, and I couldn't believe it all black. And I'm going, yeah, that came after we created. So what's up to all the guys from the Cimarrons? You've got when you're building a house, there's a foundation. You can't build nothing unless you put that foundation down first. And those people who you should have gone to and asked questions first. If you're a producer or whatever you're doing, you've got to go to those people and get the truth, because when you put the negative thing on that movie, everybody believes that's how it went. Let's talk about slavery, the same thing. Look what we've done. Look how much people created, how much things what we've created as black people. But even some of our kids don't even know that we created the traffic lights, and because it's misleading. It's a misleading thing. So I say to any filmmaker like yourself, if you're going to do that, I'm sure you will because you're in it. Do your research before you're going to do anything. They could have called that film, that small act film, any other kind of name. It would have been good. But then again, in here you would have said, hold on, there was no rapes going on or leaving a girl at the bus stop. So you as a public would go, that never happened. So there's two sides of it. You can understand what I'm saying? There's two sides, but I was dealing with the music side. Don't use our name, Lovers Rock, to call a people so you can want us to see what you've got. No, don't do it. Leave that name on. If you're not going to do it the proper way, leave it alone. And that's going to be a record. Well done.
And the thing is that the majority of people agree with you in terms about this brother didn't do his research. And I get that all the time on my show. Did he do enough research? He just picked up a few things and went with it. So I think that statement you said is absolutely bang on, and thank you. All right, Kush.
Yeah, let me just interject in there because we haven't spoken about this yet as well. So in regards to, because it's interesting to hear what Paul is saying, because the other film, the story of Lovers Rock, I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah. I'm the one who distributed that film in the UK. I distributed that film at Menlik Shabazz as a big brother to myself. And we took that film all around the whole UK. And I know a lot of people love that film. Differently to the Steve McQueen film, I didn't really hear negative connotations from the public themselves. They really loved that. But I knew at the time that there was some kind of kerfuffle, as they would say, with certain people who maybe weren't happy, especially artists, yourself, maybe like yourself as well. So, but I didn't really get to speak to anyone firsthand about it. But I knew again from Menlik that there were some issues with people. But what I would say is you can understand that a film is a vision. It's a vision of the filmmaker, the person who's making that film. You're never ever really going to make everybody happy, every single person happy. It's someone trying to tell a story. Obviously, when they're trying to make a film as well, there's a commercial aspect to it as well. So they're thinking about how can we make this sell? How can we also make a white film distributor pick up the film and put it in cinemas? Those kind of things. So you've got to figure a way of how to add maybe some entertainment to make it engaging, and it's not just a straight documentary. You know, a lot of the time people maybe have made straight documentaries and they haven't gone anywhere. But again, most of the time as well, we never actually in control of our own story. We're not the ones. We've like people have said here tonight. We've actually, many of us have discarded our story, our Black British story. Where is it? Who is telling that story? And then when someone does tell that story, we're all up in arms and want to have a go at it and make up noise about it. But when normally it's the white man telling the story, telling our story and our narrative, and we don't see black people complaining the same way as when our own people do it. So sometimes we have to realize that, okay, he's telling one side of the story or one version of the story, and he missed out bits. Okay, you know, we're not happy with that, but realize that is just his story. It's not that it's totally incorrect or whatever, because everyone's going to have a different view of how a story is told. You're never always going to have the same view, because we all have our own lived experiences and the way we see things. So, you know, again, from the feedback that I got, working on that film for over a year, taking the story that was around the whole country, taking it to Birmingham, to Leeds, to Manchester, everywhere, it was nothing but love. I know that I sold at the Real Cinema in Dawson 7 weeks straight, jam-packed on a Friday night at 11 o'clock, jam-packed with people, and people loved it in a sense. But I do understand, like I said, no criticism of anyone else. I do understand that there are going to be some people who are not going to be maybe, you know, not happy about the story or whatever. Again, Steve McQueen now, that was just total fiction. You know, so and we have to kind of accept it as that in a sense. But when we start telling our own stories, when there's more of us who're going to step up and start being being the storytellers, because we always depend on others to tell our story. We need to hold our history in our hands, and we control our history. And as we just quickly finish, as we were talking before about my new project, my new digital platform. I'm not a filmmaker, Paul. But explain all of that before you guys were here. Yeah, I'm the missing link. I'm a film distributor. Film exhibitor. What I'm doing now with my new platform now, this is exactly what I'm trying to do. I've created a digital streaming platform that we can have our films and tell our story on our own platform. And this is what we need to do. Own the narrative, own our own platforms where we can tell our story, own our own cinema, our own distribution outlets, just the same as the guys did when they put out the music themselves, because nobody else will put out the music for them.
Thank you. Give a round of applause, Kush. Very good. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to put it out to you guys in the audience. I know Carol was sharing stuff with me, and there's a lot of people feeling some vibes, but you made a very, very good point. We do need to own it, and we do need to carry it forward. And like I said, the story needs to be told by the right people. And that's why people like Colin Brown, multimedia, him doing what? No, God give him ratings. Because in doing what he's doing is an example of what you're saying, that people have to step up. And I think that the CB, Multimedia and the Windrush, they've stepped up since January. And what we need to do is extend that. Yeah. So anyone, hands up. Where's Kaboom? Kaboom! I'm going to sack you, you know, because I'm walking. I don't want to walk him.
Name and identity, please.
Right, hi, my name's Lynn Mary. I appreciate what the panel's saying. Marlon, I do see you're coming from both sides, from the business and from the personal side. I think what a lot of us was disappointed about, when you heard Lovers Rock, as Paul said, you thought you was going to see some of your life growing up, okay? And one of the things that I found really kind of difficult to understand was, is it a house party or a blues? Now, I'm from East London originally, from Hackney, and those blues parties were something else. You were lucky if you could even see the next person beside you.
Yeah.
You didn't go toilet because you didn't even know if there was a toilet.
True.
Yeah? You got in there and the first thing you're looking at is escape route. In case something happens, get by the window. You can kick the window out and escape. So all those little things, I mean, I was disappointed because I did not recognize my past in that show. And that is, for me, my view. Okay?
Yeah, I don't remember much about the small film, but I did watch it. But I just don't understand why they couldn't hire actors that proper. That's right. That's right, you understand?
Yes.
You understand? And they do that a lot. In the British actors, they hire, no disrespect, small line actors to act.
I can explain that
Speak
myself.
you know, no,
I
you know what I mean?
That's one of my pet hates as well. I was really annoyed with that. And I actually got a backstory to that as well from
And I
Trevor
have to speak
Layers.
proper patois. You understand? You can't hire someone to be a Jamaican actor and they speak it like they're from Barbados. No offense.
Just quickly on that, I was going to say that the reason that happened as well, why it happens quite a lot on TV these days, is that a lot of the young actors in film and TV nowadays are African. They have African backgrounds. They're not, and this is the problem. So maybe some of it is our fault as well. 'Cause a lot of our own children, the young Caribbeans, are not achieving in certain things and not being the actors coming up. The good thing about, the one good thing about the Lovers Rock film, the Steve McQueen, was that the lead, Michael Ward, he is of Jamaican background and he came across very well. But everyone else had the funny, dodgy accents. And that's because these are young African kids who are trying to talk patois. And the coaches, the speech coaches, which they have coaches to teach them how to speak like that, who are trying to teach them don't know, obviously, didn't do a very good job. And this is why they're coming across with all these funny accents. And if you notice, it happened all the way through the whole series. It wasn't just that one show.
Yeah, I just want to add to that. One of the things they did in the movie to try to accommodate that, because I watched it recently. I think it was a Grenadian thing that was hanging on the wall. So I think they tried to address the fact that it wasn't an all Jamaican, it wasn't a Jamaican household. It was you know them black things that we used to have on the wall, velvet type things. So yeah, so as part of setting up, it's cool. As part of setting up and getting ready for the party, they removed the Grenadian banner from off the door or whatever, and was trying to put it somewhere. I thought, oh okay, I see what you're trying to do there. Only because I watched it again. So when you watch it, you can start analysing and figuring out what they're trying to do. Okay, sorry for interrupting.
Okay, we've got another lady who wants to say.
So good afternoon, hi, my name is Sandra. Like most of you, I was very disappointed in the film. I didn't recognise myself in that film whatsoever. But the other thing I wanted to ask, which is quite controversial, is to the white people that are in this forum today. I'd like to know what your perspectives were from the film and what did you grasp from it? Because a lot of you are sitting quiet. I'm just intrigued by that.
That's a good question. Here's one. Man, are you talking here?
Hi, I'm Snoopy. Snoopy. My experience of
Snoopy.
Lovers Rock is sort of from the very beginning, really, because I was a music journalist writing about it from '76 and onwards, and I even recorded as well. I think from the film's point of view, it wasn't a story. And I think it was a really a missed opportunity, because it should have been about the celebration of that music, and it wasn't. You know, I think including the rape, I thought was really just not realistic at all. You know, they cooked food, no one ate any of the food they cooked. You know what I'm saying? And like when the Kung Fu fighting bit, it became, I thought, oh my gosh, if I was in a dance and that came on, I would run. You know, because that record was out 6 years earlier than the film was set. Nobody was playing that in 1980. So I think from the music point of view, there was a lot of things that just weren't realistic. You know, the sound, when the sound was set up, they had no 12-inch records. You know, at that time, that was the big, all the Lovers Rock records were on Disco 45.
Disco 45.
They just had this little box of 7-inch records. It's not right. You know, they put on the record, it's not even on the right label. You know, so that's just me being a music nerd. But I mean, for me, it was a real disappointment, because I love Steve McQueen as a filmmaker. I've watched his films from the very, very beginning, and I've always been really impressed with him. And this one, I thought, wow, this is going to be really, really something. But it was just a massive disappointment. And I think, you know, and even the white people that portrayed, there was not a positive white person in the film. You know, from the kids hanging about outside, and you know, and the guy's boss at the end, you know, they weren't, you know, and to me it was mixed culture. Friends of mine had sound systems, you know, and I was used to going to house parties, and again I had the issue with whether it was a blues dance or a house, but you don't pay to get in a birthday party, you know what I mean? That just wasn't but yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, but at the same time it was great to see that, you know, music that was, you know, because when Lovers Rock music was around, I was 18, 19, I was just young. It was my youth, it's all part of me. And I think that, you know, it's a shame that it wasn't depicted in a way, because I said the people who don't know the story of Lovers Rock, that wouldn't understand that it wasn't authentic. And I think that's what was really missing. In the same way, the story of Lovers Rock documentary, I mean, I was interviewed for that, but they left so much out. It was a very, very one-sided approach to it. And I know that, you know, obviously filmmakers have to be selective, but I just think the wrong part of the story was told. I think mixing up with humour didn't work. It should have been a serious look at Lovers Rock. But anyway,
Thank you. Chris, 1 minute. Can I just go back?
One more.
No, go back to Snoopy, please. You can't just come in here, Snoopy, and just hide like that. Stand up, please.
Yes, Snoopy.
This is someone big in the industry, okay?
They don't know, do they?
Snoopy was a journalist on Black Echoes in his young days, okay? Okay, so Snoopy also, tell us about the first Reggae Awards, the Black Echoes one. You were instrumental in putting that together.
Yeah, in 1978, we had an idea, because I used to review all the reggae singles, reggae albums for Black Echoes, reggae albums and reggae singles, and somebody came up with the idea of doing a celebration of British reggae music, because it had a lot of bad press. So in 1978, somebody got an idea to do an award ceremony, which we called, and I said, well, why don't we do it through Black Echoes, and we can get the public to vote for the best artists, the best singers, all that sort of thing. And so yeah, we created the very first British Reggae Award show, which was the very first to ever happen in the UK. Obviously there were other, Jamaican Gleaner and other papers followed and copied that idea later on, the Mobos and everything else, but we were the first people to really do it, and we had a lot of support from a lot of singers. It was a big concert, plus it was also giving out lots of awards. And obviously at that time, Lovers Rock was brand new, so it was people like Brown Sugar, 15, 16, 17 were on the bill, and you know, they all, you know, everyone got awards. Matumbi won all the categories for musicians. But yeah, it was a really good event.
Yeah, and I'd like to also say, give a round of applause. So my exhibition hasn't just been done by me. There are people who are helping me with research. Snoopy is one of the people who's given me his time and his effort to help me curate my exhibition. So thank you, Snoopy.
Can I just say something? A lot of you don't know. Do you remember that tune, This Is Lovers Rock? Yeah. This is Lovers Rock. He's one of the main singers in the band. We're not hiding Snoopy, because he was around tradition. So I know Snoopy over, 40 odd years, Snoopy. So when you hear This Is Lovers Rock, he's running the lead. 3 of the songs he's actually singing in there. I'm going to do that,
Snoopy.
We've
got Zinc.
Yeah.
DJ Zinc out there.
I think the thing about Steve McQueen is he's a man who likes to build a big story on a little story. okay? He should not have called it Lovers Rock. It's not about Lovers Rock. It's not a documentary. It's a story, and he hijacked Lovers Rock. I think the story that he's telling is that inside the party, everything is safe. Everybody knows who they are. Everybody is happy. Everybody is having a good time. Outside, everything is dangerous. Everything is wrong. There's that racist abuse out in the street, and the guy has to come out and help the two young women. You know, the young man takes his, probably going to be his girlfriend, and takes her to the garage, which he says he owns. He's humiliated, patronised, condescended to by the guy who actually owns the garage. So that's really what he's saying. Inside everything's safe, outside everything's wrong. But some of the bad things from the outside are infiltrating the party. There's a rape, there's near fights, you know, there's that level of tension there, and outside it's worse. And I think that is the story he's telling. If he hadn't called it Lovers Rock, I think we'd all have a different reaction to what we saw. That was the big mistake. It's fiction, it's not a documentary, and I think it's best that we take it like that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Zeke. I think we've got a couple more. I saw some hands go up.
Hello again, Floyd here again. Sorry, I'm not hijacking it.
It's all right, Floyd. Yes, you are, Floyd, but we're working with you.
But what I want to say is, which is a negative, Silly Gate, Janet Kay, love that song, don't like it no more. Because they just killed it. I've never been to a party
where the karaoke
blues dance and they play the whole song, then everyone sings it, the whole song. That section was about 10 minutes after one tune.
Yeah, the acapella when they got to be mad.
And anybody been to a party and they done that? Anybody?
Dance done.
Yeah, exactly. So that was one of my biggest disappointments of that. Because I know at the beginning they were singing it in the kitchen. They were singing it, and then to have it in the party and then do the acapella afterwards, it was a no-no for me. So that's all I've got to say on that. There was loads of negatives, but that one stuck out to me.
Yeah, that overstretched it, because when I watched it, I thought, why are you stretching it out so long? So thank you, Floyd. There's a couple at the back.
10 minutes long. 10 minutes long.
Was it 10 minutes long?
Yeah, I timed it.
Cool, I could have taken a bus out of town with that. Right, so there's not in the back. Come forward then, come forward. So no more hands up. Is that it?
Okay, we just want to switch things up a minute.
Yeah, sorry, I've got to say this, alright, I can't hold back, right? No, I'm not here to boast or brag, but I've been in this music over 45 years, right? I'm telling you, I'm playing and then other tunes. And as a sound man, and other sound men them out there that saw that film will tell you that is definitely a no-no, alright? It didn't go like that. I don't say it didn't happen in certain places, but when it comes to Lovers Rock, especially Lovers Rock was about Lovers Rock. You went there, you danced, you went home happy. You found somebody you never knew.
Got a date, yeah. Got a date.
You found someone you never knew, and you was happy at the end of the night. So, as a soundman, as I say, seeing that, still playing out, still seeing how people still, in 2023, go out and hear Lovers Rock, I'm telling you, you need to come and experience it, because that wasn't how it went. Alright, Lovers Rock is Lovers Rock.
Alright, DJ Random, big him up. Boom. Bless you. You wanted to say something, Colin?
Yeah, we check 1 2 1 2.
Check your mic, man.
1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, we're just gonna switch it up a minute. We got a surprise.
Have you?
Yes, we have a surprise.
What you bought me?
We have.
What you buy me?
We have a legend in the house. We're just gonna switch it up. We have the first lady of Lovers Rock in the house. It's Ginger Williams.
Ginger, oh my Lord.
Oh my Lord. I've got a cold, so I won't have you, Ginger. I've got a cold. I've got a cold, so I won't hug you. But thank you ever so much. You know I've been chasing you to get you here, and you're here now. So we're just blessed to know that you've come here.
Give another round of applause, you know. Sorry, Chica. Right there. Yeah, man. I did a music class, yeah. Music got me disqualified, but it was worth it.
Behind you.
It was worth it.
Behind you.
We don't waste time, man.
Yeah, man. All glory to the Lord for your life, man.
Oh, God, Ginger Williams. Bless, you are so blessed.
Honor.
Go on, give the flowers, quick.
There you go, madam. Honor. Salute. Honor.
Snoopy.
I was even born there.
Snoopy. We need to get some new awards. Look. Lifetime achievement. Take good picture because I'm going to sell it. I'm going to make some money. I'm paparazzi on this thing. Yeah, so Snoopy, we need to get back the awards because I'll tell you, you are OB, MB, CB, most talented, one of the most, innit, Paul? Most talented. The music is still timeless. Humble, very humble. Are you humble? Don't be humble in here tonight.
Family, man. Family.
Winsome, don't tell me no more.
Sorry, can I just say something? Like when I wanted to be a Love Is Rock singer, you know, the days of standing in front of the mirror with the hairbrush and carrying on bad. And then you come into the industry and you meet everybody and everybody's lovely and then you don't see them again to the next show and then, you know, it's like that. And then one day, I met Ginger Williams. And I was blown away. I was blown away by your humility, your humble. She was so humble. She was so welcoming. You were all the things I wanted you to be and more.
And you wanted to be like her, innit?
And I did.
Absolutely, man.
We all did. But you genuinely embodied all of that. Because there's a whole heap of foolishness goes on in the Love Is Rock industry. And it can make you jaded, and it can make you hard, and it can make you so many things. But to see how you handle yourself and to see how you are, that's what I wanted to be. And so I want to say to you, Ginger, thank you.
Thank you, Winsome. Winsome, don't.
Yeah, man.
So, Ginge.
Thank you, I love you to death, you know that.
Please, let me hear you.
Oh my. I'm sorry, but I'm so nervous.
Oh, don't be.
Monk's family.
I've been promising Colin, well, I told him I'd think about coming down. And that was from when he first rang me, when it first started, and I'm thinking, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, how am I going to? And then he sent me the interviews of other people, and I started to get scared. Most times I can't remember what I've done because to me it's just, if I'm going to go out and sing, I just do it and completely forget about it. You know, it's not something that I really want to do. Singing was just something that I enjoyed doing, but the performing, murder. So I just used to go do the shows, what I had to do, and then I'd just disappear.
Ginger, can I ask you a question? Did you get paid?
Hell no! Don't wait to forget.
I had to ask because that was the main theme, Winsome, when the interviews. Yeah, just swap mine. Yeah, that was the main thing, Winsome. When the interviews that was happening, Christian Dwyer, the Sidonians, all of them was going through. The main thing was about not getting paid. The managers didn't know enough about the PRSs and stuff. And I'm just thinking with the music, I've been consistently playing you, sorry, forgive me, I'm making money out of you, forgive me.
That's all right,
yeah.
Somebody's got to make money.
Yeah, everybody else is, isn't it, Audrey? So, what I'm saying is, did you get any royalties, any finances from?
That's another reason why I really stopped singing, because I have children.
Yeah.
It's costing me more to go out and sing than what, you know, I'm nice to get.
Yeah, because the studio
I'm taking
time.
money out of my children's mouths.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and so I thought, no,
And
enough is enough.
Christian Joy Wright said last week that, boy, her children came first in business.
Exactly.
You know, and if it means that she had to sacrifice, you know, her passion, her children had to be the priority. Which, you know, we all respect and appreciate, but it's just sad that many of you guys, with many DJs, there's many DJs in there, make big dance, make big money, buy a big yard with your and all of you lot's music.
Yes, I'm not really business minded, right? And when I used to ask the people who were supposed to be helping me, to show me, you know, what to do, how to go about it, they refused. You know what I mean? So, in the end, it just wasn't worth it for me.
Well, even today, certain people could be still getting royalties of your music, of the Sidonians, of Winsomes, of all sorts of music, unless you get the support, because that's what we'll be trying to push.
Right.
And I'm talking to a guy at the moment, and I'm getting him to now go back to some of the artists and teach them about claiming their PRSs.
Who's the guy?
Who's the guy?
Yeah.
Father Rebs.
Who?
Father Rebs. Do you?
I work for PRS.
Oh!
In fact, I manage the copyright.
No, but I'm just saying this guy's experience, he's just helping some of our young artists that's coming up, because he knows a little bit. But now I know, I'm going to disregard him.
No. I was going to say, give him my number.
I will do.
And I'll help him with whatever he needs.
All right, well, we're going to him for help, but right now, I'm going to dream about you helping Ginger getting their royalties right back.
But that's the thing, because, sorry to jump in, Ginger, but that is the truth. One of the things that, I mean, I get phone calls all the time, and my colleagues will tell you, I will take a phone call from another artist, anytime, night or day, because a lot of you see us turning up to shows, you don't know how we got there, you don't know how we get home.
That's right.
The worst show I've ever had experience of, and I wasn't personally affected, but I did a show abroad. I was flown out by the promoter, I was put up in a hotel, I did the show, everything was fine. At one of my shows, another artist turned up. Their promoter had flown them in for the show had been cancelled, they didn't have a return ticket. Not even a return ticket. The hotel had been booked for a specific time period. After that time period, they had nowhere to go. They're in a foreign country. And luckily, the promoter that I was doing the show for put them on the bill, gave them money to get home. That story, unfortunately, is not unique. I've been in shows where places sell out. Promoter come to you at the end of the night, boy. Ticket sales, you know, I never make the money, you know. They make the money. Gone. Or sometimes they bring in overseas artists. They pay the overseas artist. End of the night, get to them car gone. When you're looking for a promoter now, promoter's gone. Can't find him. Or the worst one, when they come to pay you and they give you the envelope.
Yeah, I've had some of that.
You get out in the car park.
You look at him.
It's short. The man's looked you in your face. And this is why I say we have not left ourselves an indelible imprint and shown Love is Rock the respect it's due.
That's right.
The word contract is not a dirty word.
I have a contract.
Know your worth.
That's right, value.
It's not a dirty word.
Value your worth.
We're talking about love here. Love for myself, love for you, love for one another. Kaboom! The fact that all these Lovers Rock artists, including myself, have the resilience to still be in love with this industry after so long is testament to the words that we write and that we sing. It's not about the promoters at the end of the day. It's about the messages that we want to share with you guys. Because if it wasn't for you guys, none of us would be where we were. But let me tell you, the journey. Let me just tell you, yeah? My hair is not naturally black anymore. But I'm going to shut up now and just say thank you all, because without your love, we wouldn't keep doing this.
Okay. Ginger, you just got to have the last word. You just got to have the last word. If I had my way, and it was the back of your show, you'd be singing right now. I know, because I'm not going to pay you, so there's no sense singing. But seriously, we are going to try and work with Winsome, because I'll tell you, Winsome, now you've told me, I'm going to dash everything to the corner, coming straight to you. Yeah, and we're going to work with Winsome to get as much of the old Lovers Rock artists, their royalties, because they're playing them on background shows and social, and they know they can get away with it because you've got no ownership. And some artists don't even know if they own their own tunes still today. So I'm hoping that Winsome and any artist in there, I'm coming to you, Lady Bantam, any artist in there, if you are struggling with your royalties and your ownership and the teeth of little dotty people them out there, I'm just saying it as it is.
PG!
Did I say PG? PG says. You're talking about a cup of tea. So we're going to get
Winsome is the person.
Winsome is the lady, and we will make sure you got card. You got business card, Winsome. Right?
But it's not only that.
I want your DNA.
It's getting the money from the guys, and that's the main thing.
Listen,
I'll give you an example.
Listen,
Winsome
Carol, Dennis Harris's daughter.
Yeah.
She has fought tooth and nail to get the Lovers Rock, which her dad actually created. In a Carol, stand up, Carol. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay. And she fought tooth and nail to get her ownership of her own daddy's things, in it, Carol.
There are some people.
And she's still fighting it now.
I'll give you an example.
Go on.
Winsome phoned me and says, Paul, who wrote that tune? And I said, I wrote that tune. She goes, are you sure about it? I said, yes. She got in contact with the producer. We're not going to call no names. And the tune was never written. It was just a vibe. My vibe. And when she contacted the person, they wrote back and said, categorically, they wrote that song.
The devil is around.
I've never received a penny. I'm a calling, natural woman. I've never received a penny. But the producer said that he wrote that song after so many years. He's never bowed and go, Paul, it's your song.
And Paul,
so that's how hard it is. So sometimes you just got to just leave it alone.
Paul, I don't want us to go too far off, because Ginger Williams distracted our blood pressure. No, she distracted me, because trust me, I can't stand up here with her like, Winston, I don't know how to work now, I'm done. So listen, let's get back to the last bit. Please take a seat, Ginger, and thank you. Give her a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you all for coming.
And the flowers. Don't leave the flowers behind, Ginger. So guys, we're going to go to the last bit of the topics. About the lasting legacy of the film. I don't even know if anyone was going to say it. Is there a lasting legacy of this film?
Panel first.
Yeah, let's panel. Do you think there's a lasting legacy? Winsome? I'm frightened of you now, you know.
Unfortunately, I do think there's a lasting legacy, because for those who don't know the difference between the reality and the fact that what they've seen is a work of fiction, then there's a group of people that will take what they've seen and take that as fact. And I think that's quite sad. But what I also think is it's an opportunity. It's a door being left ajar for somebody to try and correct that vision and correct that understanding. So I would just welcome someone to kick that door in and
review it
and try and tell that true story.
And
the story of our growing up, our lives, what we experienced.
And I think this is the possibility for it to happen now. I mean, look at the amount of people here today to hear what we're discussing, and we're hoping that a collaboration of people come together and start. Mr. Kush, I'm looking at you so hard, and start saying, all right, let's tell the real story the right way. We've got playwrights around us. We've got so much talented people in our community. We must be able to make a film or make the real documentary. So we're going to start tapping into people, and we're going to be looking to come to people like yourself, Ginger Williams, Sidonians, and the full gang, where the real story is like I kept saying, when they talk about Giants of Lovers Rock, this is where the Giants of Lovers Rock really is. So that's my view. But again, Paul, what do you reckon about the last event?
Well, all I've got to say, it started already. Through what's the exhibition here and Windrush with Colin and the team. If you really look at all the footage, what's gone already, we've actually started it. Because a lot of you know the truth, what's really going on. So if anybody's going to make a documentary about it now, they have to really come to one person.
Yeah.
to Colin to get all the information they need, because he's got it all on footage.
He's got all the contacts.
They don't
as
have
well.
to go to all the different artists no more, because we've all spoken about our journey within the business, and it's right here under this roof here with Colin. So Colin, thank you from all of the artists and just for Colin. You're the man. And the team, yeah?
Hold on.
Yes, thank you, Paul. One thing to say is everything I'm doing is in the public domain. No paywall. It's all free for everyone to do their research. And I thank all the artists that have given their time to come here, share their stories. Everything I do is for the community. It's out there free. We're taking time to get some of the interviews up because I'm trying to do everything. But everything that we've done here is free and is eventually getting onto the website, UK Reggae History. Lovers Rock's one part of it. We're documenting the history of reggae in the UK. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, please.
Yeah, like Paul said, you know, I think the great thing, the lasting legacy about even the film The Lovers Rock, and even Melik Shabazzi's story, the story of Lovers Rock, is that it's brought us together here today for us to engage in discussion, be more aware of what is needed to be done in our community for us to tell our own stories, rather than always depending on others to tell our own stories. But also, again, you know, from my perspective and from someone who been in the film business and really understands our community and how things are, how our story is told, is that when you see filmmakers or you see someone who needs help that wants to tell our story, but the black community should be more proactive in supporting them and helping them. Again, you know, we like to talk a lot, but we don't do a lot. And when people are asking to try to raise funds to tell our stories, it's very difficult to do that. And usually we have to go to other people outside our community. When that happens, when there are connotations and restrictions and all kinds of things that come with that. And so often the story is not told the way that we want them to be told, right? Because it's not coming from the source itself and being funded by the source itself. So we should very much think about that and think about how we can really support each other and push the people who can tell our story and continue that legacy, because it's a very important legacy that needs to be told. And in a sense, what Steve McQueen done, we're going to look at the positive of it. It's brought us here together today. It's revived the genre. You know, that part of Black British culture is put it back under a spotlight. And it's good that we can talk about the things we just spoke about the contracts, all of that kind of stuff. It's funny, just quickly to say that I actually just worked on another film, because I distributed a film and put a film in cinema just before Christmas, last Christmas, a film called Studio 17 for Lost Reggae Tapes. And it was about the history of reggae music in Jamaica. And it was very much exactly the same thing about all the artists that got ripped off and didn't get no money and didn't get paid. And for instance, like Lord Creator, who made that Jamaican independence song, and he had fallen into real ill health as well. And it was UB40, and it's a white group who re-recorded his song, and they chose to go and find him and seek him out and give him the rights that he was able to, and it was so timely that he could pay his hospital bills and build a house for himself. So the story is yeah. So, again, yeah, thank you, everyone. All right.
Yeah, Kush, you enlightened me. But also, remember, they're doing a Bob Marley one now, and you can't really do it without people like the Simmermans. I was interviewing them the other day, and they were in Jamaica trying to do a Bob Marley film. Well, you need to come back to England and go back, and come back to England and go back, because Bob Marley spent a lot of time in the UK, and he worked with a lot of big bands, yes or no? So, even though they're doing this story, we hope they're going to do Bob Marley justice, and the artists, and the UK artists that worked with Bob Marley along his journey before he passed away. But like I said, guys, we really want to open out to you guys, the audience, and What is your view? 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Boy, you guys best talk fast, Jamaican style. You know that, guy?
5 minutes.
Okay, there you go, boss man.
Alright, so come here, some people who hasn't had their hands up, you may want to say, what's your view of the legacy of the film? Is it something that's going to be open the doors, like Paul has said and Winsome has said? Is it going to be here for the next 10 years? Gary.
All right, Gary, yes.
From Revelation. Big up Gary from Revelation.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch the movie. I heard reports coming in, and that was enough to just say to myself, I'm not watching it, because I didn't want to be affected. So I can't comment on it. I didn't watch it.
Likewise.
Anyone else? I've got a hand up. Way at the back. Oh, give it to, Lovers Rock, and then Lovers Rock Radio, Maestro Music, and then the lady at the back.
Okay. Yes, it's a negative for me regarding the film. I think it was about 90 minutes. That was 90 minutes I was going to get back, because I found it's quite disturbing, because I grew up in them times, even being on the sound system. So what they did, and everybody said in the room, the research they did was non-existent. It portrayed, I can't give a word for the film itself, but I just found it very, very disappointing, because we know, the whole of the country was geared up when that was announced that was coming out. Everyone was sitting in the front room. Everybody was sitting in their front room waiting for this to come on the TV. 9 o'clock, was it BBC 1, BBC 2? BBC 2. And I was so disappointed. So disappointed. So that's the negative, but the positive side is we know music. We know Lovers Rock. We grew up with the music. So for me, I don't even need to watch a film to know where I'm coming from and where most of us are coming from. We know the music. As a DJ myself, I continue to play Lovers Rock because that's what I grew up with. Lovers Rock, 100%. So it's all about what we bring to it, what we can, for the artists, all the legends in the room, the singers, the producers. It's for us and the public to make sure it continues for years to come.
So are you saying the legacy, because of the film, has it kind of made everyone step up their game?
Of course, for me, I make sure what I do is Lovers Rock. I just promote music. I don't get I don't get money for it. I'm on a radio station. That's what I do. I play music. Lovers Rock Radio.
Lovers Rock.
Yes. So I play music. That's what I do. So that's what it's all about. It's about the love of the music. Watching that Steve McQueen thing, that's rubbish. I don't relate. It's pure nonsense. So what you guys are doing, and you continue to do, is a joy. So just keep on soaring and keep on doing your thing.
All right, we've got to move quickly now. I love you, mate, but we've got to move fast, yeah? No long chat.
Right, my idea about the legacy in terms of Lovers Rock, not only similar films like the story of Lovers Rock, the film Lovers Rock. I think it's an opportunity for us to start writing our own stories and getting people to produce. And the legacy, one program or film can't encompass the whole history and the whole experience. I think what I've heard today, I'm originally from the Midlands, the experience of house parties and shubbings and birthday parties, sometimes they are congealed together and they're turned into where people are raising money. So it doesn't always represent, I think that film just tried to condense a lot of experience that was happening in a lot of black communities in a lot of contexts. And I think in parts it got it wrong, in parts it got it right, but it's his version of what he thinks his aunt or whoever he's sharing the story of is portraying. But really the legacy is for our opportunity to write our own stories and not just be more reflective. There's been films in the white media that do different versions, and the white community don't sit round and go, you know, etc., etc. They sort of have their reflective practice or write their own version of a better version. So
or even have their own stereotypes of what the black community is all about.
Yes.
But like I said, Kush has said, you know, we just need to write our own narrative, and it technically is a fiction. If no one doesn't relate to it, I'm writing it, Marlon. It's a fiction, isn't it? No, I'm behind you, man. I'm watching it.
That's Lady Smurf for you, Kush. Not about it.
I'm the surround. Alright, the surround noise around here. So, quickly, we only got about two. We only got one more left.
One more.
Time.
Just want to say good afternoon, everyone. My name's Genesis. In terms of the lasting legacy of the film, my one is basically what's happened here today. Just want to say thank you to Paul, Winsome, Marlon, Paulette, Ginger, all those artists that have put the music out that I've grown up to, that my family's grown up to, that we've loved, that we've played, that we still play to love someone. One of my favourite. And your one as well. Oh my gosh, there's so many songs out there. But for me, that is the lasting legacy of what's taken place since then. People may have got it right, in some places they might have got it wrong, but it's what we do with it from now on. You know, my kids range from 25 to 35, and they know all you guys' songs because we're playing them. You know what I mean? So it might sound a little bit sad. You know, like when you lose somebody and they've passed on, they still live on because their memories, their spirit, and everything is still with you. It's a bit like that with the Lovers Rock. You know what I mean? And you know, 3 of my children, they sing, and they will sing the Lovers, and they will still bring it out there, and they will still develop it and bring it to their people that might not know about the music. And I think that's about the legacy. The legacy is what we're going to do with it. How are we going to keep it going? Like somebody said earlier, it's about love. The music was all about love. It wasn't about the slackness. It wasn't about this. It was always about love. And that's what I can actually feel in this room today. And that's what I'll be taking away from me and the memories that you guys have given. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Say that word for me. Kaboom! No, Chris, say it again. I like it. Give me some blood pressure.
Kaboom!
All right, man. I'm awake.
Might have a charger, you know.
Thank you, Genesis, because
I've been noted. I've just looked at them. You might have to get charged.
Winsome, tell me about the PRS again. What happens? Because he wants to ask me for money.
Do it like we used to do in the old days with the telephone numbers.
Thank you, Winsome. But guys, it's been such a fantastic afternoon, and we thank all of you guys for participating in this Lovers Rock discussion, and alongside the panel, Paul Dawkins, give him a round of applause.
Hold on. One more. No.
Is it Deborah?
One more.
If it's Deborah.
Short and sweet. I have to say, all from the lady that's just spoken, regarding the music, I've got my daughter and children that brought up listening to music, and my daughter went and worked for Spotify, and she actually put a lot of Lovers Rock on actually Spotify, so it's still going to show that it's influencing young people, but they like it. So I think it's going to go on and on. And when you think of Spotify, it's, you know, national, international, everywhere.
Yeah, and it is true, because the younger generation, they like raving with us. When my niece wants to come out, so where are you going? I'll come to your part. Behave yourself. Because I don't really want them to see me doing all this and all that, really. But they're saying that 30, 40 plus, they enjoy our raves more than their own age group. And this is because of the Lovers Rock. And where's the soul man? Because I was a disco dancer in my day. Yeah. So they love the Lovers Rock and the old school soul that we used to rock up to. Like the Motowns, remember all the Motowns? Don't look at me like that, Ginger. Yeah, so get the Motown. So guys, again, I want to thank you, Winsome, for the panel, for your work and your dedication and information. Listen, before we get to you, Kush, because we know you're going to have to feedback, there's a lot of people here who didn't hear about your film business. So we're going to come back to Kush last. But Deborah, the Windrush Generation Legacy Association CEO, quick targeting.
Hi guys, I'd just like to say thank you very much for what you've done here today. But I noticed that you were wrapping up, Lady Smurf, and so what I was going to ask is it possible, we've spoken a lot about Lovers Rock today, but can we hear some Lovers Rock?
I'll tell you listen, I'm with you about that because I've been wanting to... I'm going to take this brother out, you know, you might be going to be able to get me a free meal in a restaurant with him instead. But listen, I've got to leave the last word with Kush, and again, Kush, Phil, thank you because you have given us so much information.
We'll hear some in a minute then.
Yeah, listen, I really appreciate it, but listen, let's give you the last word.
Thank you. So just sort of following on from what we've been discussing here today about the support of the black community. Oh God. Controlling the narrative, controlling our own story and things like that. Some of you came in very, very late today, so I had to hold the fort for Paul and Winsome earlier on. So I told them about, I told them about our new pioneering platform. It's a serious talk, right? So I've told them about my new, we'll be talking about owning our own stories, telling our stories. We've been the controllers of the narrative, not other people. So I've now built my own streaming platform called Kush Cinema. Many people who heard it, they put it down on their phones and they wrote it down. K-U-S-H, Kush Cinema. You can go on there now and see many films on there now. I'm building the Black Netflix, if you want to put it that way, right? For us, to tell our stories.
Black Netflix, did you hear that?
Importantly, shine a spotlight on black British culture. So you can go on there now, you can watch films like Black Joy, which you don't see on TV, with Norman Beaton and all the others in there. Victor Robert Evans and everybody else. You can see Playing Away with Norman Beaton as well. The one about the cricket that was filmed in Brixton. There are many black films that have been lost. You can now see on a platform which I've just built, spent the last 2 years building, inspired by the murder of George Floyd, to have black ownership, to own something that we own and it's not other people. If you lot are serious and it's not just talk, you're going to support me, you're going to go and sign up to kushcinema.com today, right? It's free to subscribe and you also get a free film. We also have a fundraising campaign. I've been trying to raise funds from the community for over the last 6 weeks. It's been bloody painful, so it's been painful, right? All right? It's been painful. It's hard work to get black people to support certain things where we need them to support. And I'm trying to say to everyone, I don't want to go to other people outside of our community, which I know I can do, and get money, because they're going to want to control what I do and want me to do things in a particular way. So I've gone to our community to support us. And I'm asking people to support our campaign so that I can employ some young people, bring them into what we're doing, give them jobs, create new opportunities, and start creating our own content, make documentaries about the Lovers Rock, about so much more of our culture. Even, Fitzroy over there talking about the soul, even the soul part of our culture. I used to be into the soul music as well. All of that is missing, and it's always other people telling our story, not us. If you want to see that, support what I'm doing, support Kush Films, support Kush Cinema today. You can talk to me after this, you can get the link for our fundraising campaign, or if you just put in GoFundMe, if you Google GoFundMe and then put Kush, K-U-S for sugar, H for Harry, Kush Films, you'll find our GoFundMe campaign. You find the link, you can send whoever £5, £10, £20, whatever you can give. Every mickle make a mockle, as them say. God bless.
Guys, I always say it, and I always say it on my show. Put your black money where your black mouth is. I've always said it, and I'm going to continue saying it till people boot off anyways, because I don't care. But please, guys, if you can support this is going to be another legacy that we've now taken ownership of our music, our artists. We're going to make sure they get paid, Winsome, and we're going to be pushing this thing for the next 5 years. So please, even if it's £1, because £1 between 1,000 people is a lot of money. Yeah? So it's not even just about how much. Even at 50 pence, I'll take anything right now. So please, look at your phones right now.
Kush him up.
Kush him up. I like that one. Come on. But kush him up. And at the end tonight, now we're wrapping up. What we've got. Oh, please thank you, Kush. Give him a round of applause. For the panel.
People calling me Kush. Marlon. People been calling me Kush for years, and I just say, stop calling me Kush, it's Marlon.
No. See, if I say Kush, I'm more likely to spend my money. If I say Marlon, you ain't getting nothing. It's true.
That's transparency for you.
Yeah, that's how we roll around here, you know, we're Cordonians. So Kush.
It means black.
I know you're black, you know. You don't
No, it means black. It's an ancient Hebrew word meaning black.
Oh, it's a Hebrew word meaning black.
Hebrew.
Yeah. So what have you got for white?
I don't know about that.
Alright, leave that.
I need research that.
Leave that alone. But Colin, we're going to wrap up, but please, can all the artists, because we've got plenty of English, and guys, if you want to do your meeting, we've got Kaboom who's going to sort out something.
Swift and sweet.
But we are going to ask at the end, for all the artists, the new talent, the up-and-coming Lovers Rock, the veterans, the ones who look 21, yeah, are going to be taking pictures. We'd like to get a group picture, so it's going to be a legacy portrait out of Gary Dixon. How old you, Scott? I'm losing breath in here, you know. How many more? All right, Audrey. She's telling me off. So, Colin, should we wrap it all up? Take some pictures. Yeah, I mean, Deborah's been begging for music for 4 hours.
Right. This is not a music session.
Music time.
Hey, get the curtains down. Lock off.
Picture taking. Where you are, just take the picture in the panel.
Pause it. Guys, if you want to get from dance now, this is the only time you're going to get a chance to boogie in this place. And I'm going to dance. Ginger, everyone knows this tune. Everyone knows Ginger Williams.
That's it today. Nobody coming out.
Alright, so we've got Ginger Williams. And we're going to pass the tune. Alright. Colin, do your tune.
Take your picture in the panel.
Thank you.
Okay, for those who don't know, or for those who want to remember, Ginger Williams is here, so we can't not play Ginger beat tune right here now.
That's right, take your pictures in, ladies and gentlemen.
Take your pictures of the panel. Just take your pictures of the panel. Kaboom! Take a picture with your phone of the panel now, please. Take a picture on the phone of the panel now, please. Yeah, that's it. Take a picture with your phone of the panel. Living legend.
Your loving charm around me. And when I kissed your lips, something there reminds me that I can't resist your tender kiss. the one that I'm longing for.
Living legends.
Written down in my mind. 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 Say, you are the one. You are the one that I'm longing for. Written down in my mind. Written down in my mind. Written down in my mind. Written down in my mind.
Share the love.
Photo time. Line up, Chris, for this organised photos.